Hello, and welcome. We'll be playing some Fate in Almost Oregon. But first, let's say hi to everybody. Not everybody's in the right order. Gosh dang it. Alright, I'm gonna fix that real fast because, why don't you all introduce yourselves? We'll start with who's currently above my head, but is usually in the corner there, or in the center there, Golden. Why don't you say hello, and I'll put you where you belong.
Hey, I'm Golden H. I do some role-playing stuff on Twitch. You can catch me at twitch.tv/GoldenWH. And you can catch me here. We're going to playtest some Oregon Trail. This is going to be, as I plan it anyhow, the last session we play these characters. After that, I'm hoping we can do a round of the revised character generation board game, and then we'll talk about what we want to do. So yeah, stay tuned tonight. I got some plans. Not much new mechanics, but I feel like I haven't been too heavy on the magic bullshit because I've been so concentrated on making up rules. So there's gonna be some magic bullshit tonight that I'm known for. And yeah, that's me.
Brilliant.
I choose Dark Lavender Void.
Okay,
Thank
fair.
you.
Is this how we're doing this now? I'm down with it.
Popcorn
okay.
introductions.
Okay, cool. Hi, I'm Dark Lavender Void. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm making a game called Mortally Bankrupt, where folks play reality stars that are being watched by Eldritch Horrors. I'm actually doing some new music type production for that because I'm doing video tutorials for it, and I'm trying to make them really fancy.
Ooh.
That's going to be pretty cool, because I was just planning to do like a trailer for the game in general originally, but now I'm doing artsy stuff for everything, which I feel like is just a much better way of doing that, because now there's more stuff. KingSeras, who are you?
Who am I? Hi, I'm KingSeras. I am also known as Monica, the host of the design and writing podcast Bonus Experience, which everybody should be listening to, especially if you like games, especially if you're into AP. It's a good under the hood look at what goes into running a game and making it fun, but also writing and designing the games so that they are, playable. We also are starting to do a lot more interviews. So we're talking to other people in the industry. So if you want to hear us talk to some other cool people, it's fun. It's banter between me and my co-host. We are both queer ladies. Now I'm going to make a big statement and everybody's going to tell me that I'm wrong. But as far as I know, there's not really another show that is about that sort of thing that is also hosted by two women. Lots of men and women, but two women. I'm happy to be wrong. I would love to be wrong. But I think we're pretty unique in that regard. So if you are tired of white men telling you what to do with your games, how about you listen to two women tell you what to do with your games instead? You can find that at bxpcast.com, and you can find our Twitter at bonusexpcast on Twitter. And if you want to follow me, I'm at Sun. I'll probably do this again at the end. So if you missed it, we'll say it again. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Oh, and I'm also going to be finishing a model. A friend of mine asked me that I do her dress in like a galaxy style.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Oh.
So there's currently a lot of paint sort of layered on there, and I'm going to try to make it look like stars now instead of just like a Jackson Pollock painting.
I love it.
And there's going to be some skin tone shading and some metallics and some highlights, and it's hopefully going to look really nice by the time we're done with the end of the game.
I'm excited. I know you got some metallic ink, so it's going to be shiny. I like shiny.
Yeah. She's got a gun, so I'm going to make that metallic.
Cool.
Why is this broken?
Okay,
I'm not
Sadie,
that much to patriarchy.
back to you. Shoo, go.
Okay.
Hello. I'm Estani. I am a streamer here on Twitch, and I am an artist on Patreon and Redbubble. So basically, Google Estani, and you'll find me in all the places. And I really want to play that board game again, Golden. That was so fun. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Definitely.
When I heard that we're playing that again, I'm just like, it was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I'm really lucky, this is going to be the last revision. So,
What? That's crazy.
and then I'll take all this millions of dollars I'm getting from my full-time job and put it into this board game. That's the plan.
Sometimes that's how it feels when you have a job that pays not Garbo.
Not
Yeah. I mean, let's just pretend it doesn't pay not Gargo. So
Okay.
I was just about to be like, wouldn't know what that's like, but go on.
Yeah.
Okay.
we can
so-
pretend. We're all share runners. I got this run coming up next week that should pay for this game.
All right.
Yeah, that
I'm in.
makes sense. I follow completely. Oh, come on. Why is it doing this?
It wants to make your life hard.
It really does. Like, I can't even express how much it's trying to make my life hard. Okay. Perhaps we can do the cam order thing.
Where we turn off our cameras and turn them back on.
Yes.
I'm down for that.
I think it's mostly just me doing this.
Let's see. Nope.
No.
Not just you. So okay. Golden, you are first. Okay. Next is Estani. Yeah. And then Lavender. And then KingSeras. Bam. All right. Perfect. Everything is solved forever.
Forever.
I just need to never switch away from the screen because it's messed up on the back end.
Let's just do it live.
Or,
It's
we're
fine.
just doing it live. That's really all there is to
It's the
it.
streamer way.
It
We've all
really
done it.
is.
We've all done it. We've all been there.
And it's, see, I was so excited because I had bought something at PAX Unplugged, and I told Sirius about it last time, but didn't actually get to show her yet, which is this little handy-dandy miniature holder.
Ooh.
And so I got a miniature to put on there. You glue it or petty it to a bottle cap, and then you can just twist the bottle
Ooh.
cap on,
Oh.
and then you can hold it at different angles, twist it around, that kind of
Ooh.
thing.
Fancy. As you guys saw last week, I do have, it was a gift, I do have one of the fancy Citadel handles. But it's currently
very nice.
occupied by a model that I'm currently not finishing. So for those of you DIYing at home, I have a pill bottle with some sticky tape.
Yes, that is always very good.
Yeah.
One of the first of model holders that I ever had was a very large fuse that one of my friends gave me, and I did a lot of sticking them on the end of cheap chopsticks.
Huh.
I
Okay.
can't help it, but I'm just imagining one of those large enough to hold a dreadnought from Space 140K. That'd be so good.
That would be amazing. Yes. Okay. So that is that. This is I'm excited for this to be the end, not because I want it to be over, but because and because I love Fiddlesticks like way too much.
I think we all know that.
No one can fault you. No one can fault you at all.
Also, yeah, Fiddlesticks is awesome. So
But
Yeah, I'll
because
buy the rights to Fiddlestick to put in my book. Don't worry.
okay. But also like, oh god, I'm sorry. I'm also trying to to fix this on the back end while I'm doing this.
Take your time.
So I'm looking forward to doing it again. Like Costani was saying, going through the board game again and having it all come together, because I love creating characters almost as much as I love playing them.
Same.
And so being able to go through that structured process is really cool and really fun. And getting the input of various factors from the other people at the table is both really engaging, like for all of us to get like invested in each other's characters, but also like kind of refreshing as they interject some stuff that maybe you would never have thought of. And I kind of really love rolling with other people's ideas.
Yeah,
So
it's
great.
super fun. We should also, when we do that, switch up where we're sitting on the table so we can do different things for different people.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a
absolutely.
good idea.
I just tried really hard. Like, I also love making characters and making worlds, but there's like this cognitive noise when you're doing it by yourself. It's painful. And I tried really hard to like just get rid of that noise. Like, so we just had the fun parts and still had, you know, if you really wanted to, you could just sit down and make characters, but I wanted to make it just not work at all. No work.
It's really
So-
fun. You did a good job. It's really fun.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
think
We're also
all-
going to start with some strangers in the world, so we get to play with more cards.
That's cool.
But yeah, obviously, like I feel like I need to take the actual role playing thing, and give it more time. Like I did not realize how little I can get done, 1 hour a night, game design wise. Because like I sit down and write a rule, and that's it. I don't have time to revise it, or think about it, or expand on it, or like when other ideas come up, I don't have time to write them down. I just not realize that you can't break down the creative process into such small chunks. So, oh well.
Yep.
Well, now you know. So
Now I know. I've learned what real people have known all this time. That it's really hard to write role-playing games with a day job.
Yep.
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 They
Most
more
people
respect
don't.
to people.
Yeah.
More respect to people that manage it.
Yep.
All right.
Where are we starting?
We are starting. So I am going to do this. Nobody has used the rules for interjecting and taking control of the scene framing process. So I am going to jump forward 2 weeks in time, unless somebody stops me.
I don't see any reason to object to that.
Okay.
I mean, I know you were like, take control of the narrative, but I'm like, that just makes sense. Move the plot along. Give me something objectionable and I'll object to it.
Right?
All right. Let me take a look at these things right here. Oh yes.
Let me find something objectionable. Hold on.
Hey, hold on. Do
Let me
your
check
best.
my notes.
I want to compel Jemima's future sight to have prophetic dreams, recurring prophetic dreams that are disturbing. All right. So take your fate
Sounds
point.
perfect.
Mm-hmm.
There's your fate point.
Thank you.
Your dreams are of the Chinooks food. They have like this food hut away from their living hut with like storage so it won't attract animals. Your dream is of a coyote slinking into the food hut by the light of the new moon and just eating everything. Like it's just gobbling up everything in there. And you know that the new moon is going to happen tomorrow night now. So you wake up. This is where the scene is starting. You wake up full of, body covered with sweat. Jemima, where are you?
I am in. I might be in the Chinook village. Just
Okay.
because I'm teaching folks how to make sourdough.
All right, so you're just teaching sourdough.
And I think I brought my own tent and I stayed over. So this is like my tent in like some empty place in the village or like on the outskirts of the village.
Yeah, they mostly all live in this one longhouse. But you could either camp more inland away from the river.
Mm-hmm.
Depends exactly like what kind of relationship you're trying to build.
Yeah. If they're interested in keeping me in one of the longhouses, then I will gladly stay there. But if not, I'm sure I also have a tent.
Okay. Why don't we make a roll to see?
Yeah,
You have. You can use your cook or your empathize skill in the situation, I think.
Yeah, I think in this case I'm using empathize because it's more of the social teaching side of that rather than actually making the sourdough itself.
Okay. So we'll say you're going to put a maneuver trying to make friends.
Yeah.
And yourself.
Yeah.
I kind of love that. I don't know if it's appropriate for me to love it that much. But it seems, I don't know, highly appropriate to a certain degree.
Let me ask you this: are you also willing to teach? So, like, this is a very diverse community. You found out over the last 2 weeks, there are people here from many different tribes, all the way up and down the coast, and also, from what will become Canada.
Mm-hmm. Why are all of these tribes together? Are they're just like chill with each other?
Well, they're all using this river network on the Columbia River as transportation and trade. Cool. They don't have like infrastructure. They're all like living off of the river or the ocean coast.
Gotcha.
And so this transportation network just comes here, and there's lots of food. The people here are pretty peaceful. Sometimes they'll fight, but because of like the vast amount of food, and this is like the center of like two giant transportation networks converging. That's my theory, anyhow. Okay. All I know is that it was actually there in real life.
Yep.
Until we destroyed it.
Yep. Okay, cool.
All right.
I got my dice.
All right, I'm going to say, are you willing to teach the different peoples?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the point of all of this, and I feel like if they are housing me, then I'm probably being expected to teach a bunch of different people.
Okay. In that case, I feel like because you're doing basically what this village is used to, you're sharing a trade and teaching other people your culture, and like there's just exchange of knowledge and culture going on. There's nobody here that is going to try and stop that. That's what their culture encourages. So your difficulty will be 2.
Okay. Then this will be so
you could
easy.
still mess it up by being just really weird with all your weird
Just the
books.
weirdest person.
I also forgot that these are fudge dice instead of regular dice, so they also have negatives.
Yeah, I was
They
just about
do
to ask how many
indeed.
negatives for you to fuck it up.
Oh wow! I mean, it would have had to been
But I
like
did have a
all
+4.
negatives.
There had to be 3 negatives, 3 or 4
Okay.
negatives.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not impossible.
It's true.
Not impossible.
But a 6 is really good.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'll talk a little bit about scope here. So, there's like, I already described like 3 levels of scope. The first level of scope is like you, the second level of scope is like a small group. The third level of scope is like a village or town. And a fourth level scope is like a major like region of a country, of the United States size country, you know. It's like several states of area of effect. So you are at the like small town. So you're like making friends with basically everyone in this village and who is engaged in the trade here. All right, so 3, 6.
Cool.
And this aspect will last for the duration of the story, which will be several sessions in length. But since this is the last session, it doesn't matter. All that matters is you're making friends with everybody. Where's everybody else at? I know Fiddlesticks, your family is still in Oregon City.
Yeah. I think Fiddlesticks is probably like gonna be like the de facto courier between where everybody else is staying and Oregon City, going back to his family and then, you know, braving the snowstorms to go out and meet with Jemima and wherever it is that Teo and Jordan ended up. If Fiddlesticks is the one that is kind of going between them. I don't feel like he has settled down per se. He's not doing a job like Jemima is. He's a wanderer at heart, and so he's just wandering between his friends.
Okay. So we can say that you're coming back from Oregon City right now. I'm trying to decide like what skill would be representing your traveling to the wilderness.
Me zoom in on skills.
I feel like
Tempo?
it's probably your shape-shifting skill.
Shape-shifting skill. Yeah, I could feel that. Okay.
You could probably you probably get an argument for tempo or endure, because endure is great. But there's a lot of things going against you, right? Like, you don't know this territory. It's the middle of winter. You got bad weather. You have to get your own food and supplies.
I feel like
So you're
I feel like tempo is very appropriate if you believe that shapeshifting by just having the most appropriate form for the job, because I think as a bobcat I'm gonna fare a lot better in this snow and fending for myself than I would as a human.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, you could just change shapes. Like, I am a bobcat. I am a fish. I'm a bird. I'm a man.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Um.
So your difficulty is 8.
Okay, and I can add so because I leveled up my magic skill, I can throw in a d6 in place of a d-fudge without messing up the world.
That's right. Well, no. Well, yes. So you can do it without messing up the world, because the world has gotten more strange.
Right.
You can do it for free because you leveled up your skill.
Okay.
And isn't it 2d6 then? Because of both
No.
those- No?
If
It's 1d6 for free.
Right.
Oh.
For the second die, you have to pay the fate point, and it would mess up the world.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
But now you have the option of a second die, as opposed to before where it was just the one.
Gotcha. Thanks.
So obviously I'm gonna do that. There'd be no reason not to. Okay. Oh no, I only got a 5
Ooh.
after all of that. Ooh. Okay.
I mean, you have a 40% chance of doing better if you reroll.
But if I spend a fate point and just take the +2, that'll push me over the mark.
No, because the difficulty was 8, and plus 2 will give you 7.
No, you're right. Never mind. Then yeah, I guess we'll re-roll. Will that
It's a
re-roll
40%
all
chance.
dice, or just the fate dice?
It would re-roll all dice.
Okay, let's do it. I'm calling in on Morbidly Curious, actually. So I feel like he sees some vultures circling in the sky, and it's like, dang, what are they doing out here in the middle of winter? I should go and find out. And finds himself some dinner that way, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
Okay.
you did do better though.
I did do a lot better, but I can push one more. And that is going to be my unusually blue eyes. And here's why. Because I get recognized by the locals and not shot on sight for being a wild bobcat in their area.
Mhm.
Oh, which locals? The Chinook?
Sure. They're who we've been most friendly with, so they're the most likely to have
Okay.
noticed.
So what you feed upon is a.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
We
By
lost
video. Come back, video. Now I messed up the overlay though.
Yeah, welcome back, video. Okay, everybody else off.
I'm sorry. But
And then Astini, Lavender, KingSeras. We did it. Good job, fam.
sorry, folks.
We're gonna
Apparently,
get-
accidentally pressed the spacebar turns off my webcam. I didn't know that.
Awkward.
Yeah. But what you feed upon is a stegosaurus.
I mean, they've got... Well, this is quite unusual, but very tasty. They do have some strange ilk up here in this new territory. Think nothing
Yeah.
of it. It's delicious.
You think nothing of it? Okay.
That has got to be a lot of meat for one bobcat.
Well,
Yeah, you
I mean,
gorge yourself full.
I'm also sharing it with those vultures. Duh.
Okay,
Yeah, like a pack of wolves show up.
Yeah.
And they share it.
Sure. I mean, that's a lot of
Like-
meat. It's a lot of meat.
Nobody's fighting. There's so much meat.
I like probably eye them warily, but if they're not gonna, but kind of like concede that they can have as much of it as they want. But I don't know even what killed it. It was dead when I got there, so.
Sure. It was dead when I found it. I found it like that, officer.
So you'd also know that in Oregon City, your family is actually working to plow, clean land, just make it good for a farm.
Mhm.
And they have like say, like 60 acres right next to the river. Like directly on the river.
Wow, that is a lot of land. Right there on the
There
river.
is. But you should wonder at that, considering what else I've said about land so
Yeah,
far.
have they mentioned why they have that much land?
No, if you asked, they'd say that the founder of the city, what's his name again? You guys have a letter to give him, which I assume has been given.
If it's been 2 weeks, then definitely has been given.
Yeah. That's what just John McLaughlin, who's the basically the owner of Oregon City and the mayor, he just said that they could have that land. And it was his to give them.
Well, that is quite odd, but if you're going to be turning into a farmland, I'm sure the new source of food will be grateful for everyone.
Yeah, your family's pretty happy with it. I mean, that's what they came here basically for, right? All this land.
That's the theory.
That's the theory. All right, so you have this like information from Oregon City and also a full belly, and you're coming back to Oregon City. Theo, your family has been busy trading with the Indians because someone actually has like steampunk clock gears and springs, and they're shipping them here to sell them, and nobody knows what to do with them. So your family is like teaching the Chinook and other people what they can do with all these clockwork parts. Let's see here. There's Jordan still. Jordan.
Yeah.
You've just been helping out around town, I guess?
Yeah, but I think I was also looking for farmland or something to like build
Okay.
a homestead or whatever for my family, or to at least make some money so that I can pay for them to come here. 'Cause I left my
Yeah.
family behind.
You did. So farmland, not so great. So I assume like you've been exploring, maybe
Yeah. Sure.
in the outskirts of the land.
Uh-huh.
So you find like there's not too much good farmland,
Okay.
but you might be able to. Like there's all kinds of other resources. Why don't you give me a? Okay, what kind of thing should I make you roll to like explore land?
I got map.
Yeah, you can map. All right.
All right, let's see if
Yeah, roll map.
let's see if the maps if they don't love me like I love you.
The better you roll, the better the thing you'll find.
It's slash roll. I ask this literally every time, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Slash roll.
Hey,
Ooh,
okay.
nice.
I roll better on my +2 stat than I have ever on my +4 stat.
That's the best
Classic.
roll.
That is classic fate
Classic.
right there.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you will find a vein of gold in the side.
Oh, quit
Of
digging.
one
I've
of the
struck oil.
mountains.
Wait, I mean gold.
Yeah, you found gold, not black gold, unfortunately.
So you would say that there's gold in them there hills?
There is gold in them there hills. Do you tell anybody about the gold?
Probably.
Mm.
Yeah.
But who?
I'm gonna have to think about who.
Okay.
Perhaps
So not
someone who
yet.
could make mining mechs for you. Just-
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe
Yeah.
the person who can make mining next for me might be the best choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the next time Teo and I are, I don't know, doing a thing, I'm gonna tell him what I found.
All right.
Cool.
But right now, Jemima is just getting out of bed. Jemima, what are you doing?
I imagine I have to eat like something.
Sourdough?
Just leave that thought there. I imagine I have to eat. It's how I feel a lot of the days waking up. I imagine I have to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
you can smell sourdough baking for sure.
Where's the Stegosaurus? Do we have?
You don't know about the Stegosaurus.
Stegos?
I ate it all. Well, me and my wolf buddies.
Fair. Cool.
But I found the most amazing, largest bird you've ever seen. Delicious and tasty. Not quite like chicken, but close.
Have I heard anything? Is Fiddlesticks like the first person who's telling me that there are like gigantic roaming?
Well, it's Fiddlesticks, right? So Fiddlesticks just walks into town and just starts talking about this delicious bird to you. You haven't seen Fiddlesticks in a week or two.
I had no idea they had such amazing game up here. All I've heard about is all of the land and amazingness that comes with that, but I'm not really much of a farmer, but these giant birds, well, I don't know what killed it, but goodness gracious, it was large.
How big? And then Jemima kind of like looks up, almost like compare it to the size of this longhouse that we're in or outside of right now, because we might be outside of it because like I probably just
Fiddlesticks.
had breakfast. Yeah, go ahead.
Walks around the longhouse and then just nods. Yes, that's about right.
That's large for a bird.
Quite so. I was rather impressed.
Can it fly?
Well, how should I know? It was quite dead when I found it.
That's fair. Can I don't know how long the Chinook are gonna keep me around here for, but once I'm done, do you want?
Well, I want
something
lots
to-
of things, Jemima, but not sure you can give them to me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you. Please, please, go on. And he, like, slaps a companionable arm, like, across your back and shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
and then, like, walks with you towards wherever you were going.
Yeah.
If you didn't have anywhere particularly in mind, then it's towards breakfast.
Mhm. Yeah. I think Jemima's mind just goes blank and then just goes like, whenever I'm done here, I want to go back to Oregon City and see how things are looking there.
Oh, yes, I do have news from Oregon City. It's quite the place. You know, my family, the Rickers, they have managed to claim a large, large expanse of farmland. Now, wasn't Jordan looking to be a farmer? Now, I think he's much more suited to it than the rest of my own family, but what would I know?
Right. I think I still have a couple of farming years left in me. Maybe we'll see what I can do. I can certainly lend a hand.
Fiddlesticks kind of just pats her on the shoulder a little bit and is like, no, I don't think you have need of that. You have so many other amazing talents. Just,
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
where is Jordan and young Teo?
I don't know. They've never come around.
Oh, odd. Well, I'll just be off and find them then.
Tell me what they're up to.
Of course. Actually, was there any particular message besides, like, the status update that I was bringing from...
You probably would have had a message for Jordan that there's more perfect farmland for her if she wants it.
Yeah.
Or does Jordan go by, what's Jordan's pronouns?
Either is fine. I mean,
Okay.
if we're in a place that's like as free as we're making this new Oregon out to be, probably no longer feels like one has to present as a man in order to be respected.
Gotcha.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. So maybe previously was using he, him as pronouns, but now feels free to identify as her correct gender.
I feel that.
Alright.
That.
Yeah.
Story of my life.
But still dresses in a very masculine way.
Right.
Gotcha.
So, when I last left and headed out to Oregon City, where were Jordan staying? Like, Teo was probably staying with his family, with whatever weird clockwork, waterfall stopping mechanism that they had devised.
Well, Theo's family was invited to live in the longhouse. And if Jordan wanted to stay with them, they'd probably allow that. The question is, Jordan has been out exploring the land. Did they decide to camp, or is this like a going out on day trips kind of thing?
If I was going out for an extended period of time, I certainly would be camping.
Okay.
Okay.
So I don't know how far away the gold vein is from where we are. Is it like a couple days travel?
Let's say it's about let's say it's about 4 hours, because you rode pretty well.
Okay.
And these Chinook people don't seem to care too much about raw metals and similar kinds of wealth. They're like interested in trade and in fishing.
Okay. So yeah, if it's not that far away, then actually that sounds more like I was probably just making day trips.
Okay.
Like going out and then maybe mapping out the area and then coming back and then going out and like figuring out where all these resources are and getting the lay of this land, which is mostly useful to us and not so useful to the Chinook, who I assume know where things are, where they live.
Yeah.
They live here. They don't need my help with this.
Nah. So I guess, Theo, are you how do you feel about your family living in the longhouse?
I feel like I'm fine with it, but at the same time, I keep thinking about all those people who want to come to Oregon, the promise of land that's not really here to take.
Yeah.
And I still have that vision in my head of, well, let's just go up. So I think while they've been like teaching the people how, like, the things that they can use with gears, I've been working on my own project. Probably not like away from the town a bit, so that as not to intrude upon their lifestyle
Sure.
and stuff, but not so far away that I'm gonna get like beset by coyotes or wolves or whatever. Like, I'm close enough that I'm not gonna die, but hopefully.
So would you be like a crazy inventor, mad scientist living in the woods? Or
I think I
would
live
you
in the
be-
longhouse. I just go out during the day when it's light out.
Okay.
And I work on my own stuff. And my mom's probably like, Teo, get back here. And I'm just like, I got stuff to do, Mom.
Nice.
I'm building weird shit in the woods, basically.
Do you have like a cabin, or is it like you just have a pile of stuff right now?
It depends. I mean, I don't know what I can say without having rolled. So
I mean, if you say something needs a roll, I'll just ask you to roll it.
okay, I want to have started on my sky elevator.
Okay. Are you just getting raw materials, or would you start with like gears and mechanics?
Well,
Like the structure, the superstructure, or the guts?
like materials are already readily available.
Mhm.
So, I feel like I would have to have the scaffolding first, and then the gears
Okay.
would have to go on later. Like you have to have the framework before you can add the mechanisms, is my thought.
Yeah. So then, would you A, get the resources yourself, B, pay for resources with some resources I don't know that you have and barter, or C, go into debt?
I mean, it's not like you didn't just, it's not like Uncle Jordan didn't just help you find a gold vein.
You know what? I think we can go into debt for now, and then we can mine that gold and get out of debt. Let's do
Okay.
that.
All right. My final question is, how do you feel about living with Jordan? Is it like you have this new family member, or is it like...
Yeah, I honestly feel like she's like Aunt Jordan. She's I think I really like her. Like not like her, because
Because you're a child and I'm an adult.
well, not only that, kids can get crushes on adults. It happens.
That's true. Yeah.
But I feel like you're just cool Aunt Jordan. You're nice. We get along. We're both kind of like outcasts from where we're from, so I think we kind of bond over that a little bit, because like it kind of makes us more tolerant of each other, maybe. So yeah. I like living with Jordan.
Okay. Cool.
Cool.
Probably, like, regardless of everything I literally just said about feminine pronouns, probably wants to be called Uncle Jordan.
Just a little bit.
Cool.
Just-
yeah.
yeah.
I
Like-
like you, like maybe I start calling you uncle, and then you start going by female pronouns, and I switch to aunt, and you're like, no.
No, it's still Uncle Jordan. Uncle is a state of being. Listen, I'm an uncle in real
What's the
life. Let's
difference?
just
Gay
say.
Uncle Jordan is what you're saying.
Right, yeah.
I didn't realize aunt and uncle were gendered. I'll have to ask about this later. Okay.
You didn't know aunt and uncle were gendered?
No, I mean, I know that one is for a male, one is for a female, but I didn't think they had different roles.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
You know, kind of.
I haven't thought
I'm
about
so
this
socially
before.
inept.
Yeah.
I've never noticed this, so I'm just curious. But okay,
But anyway.
tell me about this later because I'm
I
interested.
feel like the thing is that there are like subtle assumptions about what aunts do with you versus what uncles do with you, and that's
Yeah,
maybe
that's
the thing we're thinking of.
Yes.
I mean, my
yes, and that
uncle
was
will
also-
take me shooting and riding motorcycles, and my aunt will be like big sister.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right, so Uncle Jordan is coming back from the gold mine. You see, I think Theo like grabs breakfast. It's like this giant sourdough with a fish in it, and is going out to their scaffolding to do their day's work. And you bump into each other, and you're being stalked by this man with fantastic bushy mutton chops, and I don't think Jemima came with, but it's okay. Jemima will get involved somehow.
Oh, good. I'm so glad to see both of you. John,
Oh, hey.
Teo, how are you doing?
Hey, fiddlesticks.
It's been a hot minute, as they say back in the city. I haven't
Is
been
that
gone
what
that long, have I?
Is that what they say in the city? Okay.
Some amazing news, Jordan. I know that you've been looking for some land to farm, and my whole family has stumbled upon coming to possession of a huge tract of land, some 60 acres, right off the river. It's quite impressive, and I don't think they can farm that all themselves.
Okay. Are you inviting me to join you?
Why, yes. I'm sure they won't have any problem with it at all.
Did you check with them first?
I'm sure they won't have any problem with it at all.
Theo's just shaking his head like classic fiddlesticks.
Yeah. It's very. Thank you. It's very thoughtful of you. I mean, if you're assuming that I'm going to follow you immediately back right the second, it's not happening.
Oh, of course not. There's going to be a feast tonight, and I plan to take part of it.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Look at Teo, like, did you hear about a feast?
Well, there will be when I'm done with it.
Oh, okay. You something else you want to tell us there, buddy?
Well, I mean, obviously, they're just going to be celebrating my return. I haven't made the rounds and seen everyone yet, but...
Oh, okay. Okay. I see. All right. Well, I can't wait for tonight's Fiddlesticks party.
Right then. Now, Teo, what are you working on there? You seem to be elbow deep in grease. You're muted.
You're muted. Oh, you're not muted. You're technical difficulties.
Womp womp.
Uh-oh.
Well, Theo is really excited to get to work, I assume. And so says something antisocial and escapes.
Wait, I hear maybe.
Wait, I hear something.
Hold on.
I can hear you really quietly now.
I heard
Now I'm
you.
really quiet. What?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Technical difficulties.
I had to unplug it, my microphone, so you guys could hear me.
You turned it off and on again.
And now
That's
I have
best
to
stuff.
find my control panel. I'm
Oh,
shouting. Can
Whoa.
you hear me?
You got really loud for a second and then got quiet again.
What the frick? Oh, wait. I bet I know the issue. I had to reinstall Zoom, and it's probably doing the frickin' automatically adjusting my volume. So I'm just
yes, that's the thing.
and I've capped out my volume. Is this better?
Wow, you're way loud now.
That's a little bit loud.
Now you're loud.
Why
but
don't you,
can't
like-
hear you.
But that's better than nothing.
Why don't you have half
How
capped?
about this?
Better.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave it like this. If you need me to fix anything, let me know. Okay, so
Alright.
Teo said, "How about I show you? It is easier to show than to explain in words."
Sounds fantastic. And like, Fiddlesticks takes finds a nearby log or something and kicks back on it. He just kind of sits down, puts his legs up, and he's waiting for a show.
I just imagine Fiddlesticks loafing.
I mean, yeah, a
Like
little bit.
pulling all his legs up under him and then laying on them. Don't actually do that if you think that's dumb, but that was what I pictured.
I mean,
No,
oh
Steve.
no, it's okay.
Sorry.
Technical difficulties.
If Lavender and KingSeras, if you want to flip your cameras off and on again,
Oh, shit. Hang on.
well,
Oh gosh.
everything's better. Yay!
Okay.
Oh no! Oh
No?
no! Just nope. Lavender, you're
Okay.
fine. Turn yours back on. KingSeras, turns your off and on again. Okay. Whew. Everything's fixed. For
Okay.
realsies this time.
I thought last time it was fixed forever.
It's fixed until next time.
Yeah, there we go.
So Fiddlesticks, I picture him just sitting down on a log, but an upright log with one foot hooked up over his knee, and just kind of leaning back, but I need a way to make that more cat-like, and so instead, he's hopped up on top of this log, so that both of his feet and one of his hands is what's balancing him on top of it as he's waiting very patiently for this little demonstration.
So how much of this do I actually have built at this point?
Let's make a roll.
Okay.
So you want to make a flying? How big is it? Flying city?
Eventually, yeah. I figure
Okay.
we're not there yet. Right now, I just want to have the elevator that is going like several hundred meters. Well, no. Let's start small. Prototype. We can always expand. It goes maybe 20 meters into the air.
Okay, so you're making an elevator that goes up.
Yes, and it's
But is it
suspended.
big enough for a person?
Big enough for a person. For one person right now, it's prototype. And the top is going to be suspended by like a hot air balloon to kind of help hold it up.
Yeah.
And there's going to be like clockwork gears and stuff. Like you pull a lever and then the gears kind of tick you up, tick, 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 all the way to the top. And then you pull the lever.
Balloons were like such a fad at the time.
It's gonna be so tall that it's gonna need the balloons to kind of act as another stabilizer because it's gonna be a giant floating city. So I gotta have proof of concept first.
All right. So you're gonna build this.
Yes.
But I think there's some inventing going on.
Okay.
So but build will help invent. I think invent would give you aspects, but build will give you the thing. So okay, you're gonna roll build. Just roll as high as you can. I'll tell you how much you have built.
Okay.
I'm opening up the time-space chart.
I'm also going to replace 2 of my fate dice with 2d6.
All right, you're breaking the world.
I mean, we knew that was my jam.
Yeah.
All right. So now anybody else can use 2 dice without breaking the world in this thing.
So that would be 2df plus 2d6 plus 4. Yes.
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 13.
What?
Oh, yes.
That's a lot. Okay.
I mean, we should all know that you're going to break the world because this is the last session with these characters, so gotta go hard.
Even if it wasn't the last session with you.
It's true, but I mean, since it is, you've only got so much time.
All right, you're at train engine size, and the next level up is largest dinosaur.
So does that mean I can have my prototype?
Are you happy with this, with a train engine size prototype?
No, I want it to be bigger.
All right, you need to spend some fate points then.
How much do I need?
To be the largest dinosaur, you just need 1 more.
Okay, then I'm going to use my
After that is the blue whale.
Smith Savant. What?
Okay.
I'm so good at building that it didn't take like 2 weeks, and I've built this elevator. It's just amazing. Like I'm such a savant.
So this thing is enormous. Like it is like higher than all the trees, except for the redwood trees. You can see some of those around, but it's taller than all the other trees, and you can see it from miles along. What color are the balloons?
I think. I think at the moment they're just undyed, so they would be that sort of slightly off-white, undyed fabric look, but
canvas colored.
Yeah, canvas colored. But Jordan would definitely know my vision is to have them be like a very bright blue.
Okay, bright blue balloons. Eventually. And are they like? So they're just solid color, not like patchwork different colors. Okay. You also have like a little cottage at the top of this
Yes.
with what's the word? It's not balconies, like um, whatever. There's like this it's like a balcony without railings because railings are for wimps. Um, but this elevator goes straight up into this cottage with the balcony that's not railed.
Yeah, Fiddlesticks like kind of sits back and like looks up and up and up and is like, well,
Terrace? Is that the
my
word?
goodness, you have been quite industrious, haven't you, Theo?
I mean, I'm riding it up.
Okay.
Is the elevator big enough for one person at a time or more people?
More people.
Don't
It
worry
would
about
fit
it.
a family in there. Like it's like elevator sized, I think. If it's the biggest dinosaur, yeah, we can fit a family in there.
Okay.
I mean, even a train engine, you're at multiple people.
Yeah.
For sure. So,
Are you a little
like,
worried though?
I'm
This looks a little bit shaky.
But it's
Not even.
supposed to. That's the point.
so did you invite Fiddlesticks into the elevator with you?
I was just gonna show you, but it's fairly slow.
No, I was
think.
gonna say. Otherwise, I want to meet you at the top, which means that I need to roll to turn into a bird, so that I can fly up there and beat you.
Yeah,
to the
go
top.
for it, because I did not. If Jordan wanted to go up it, you were welcome to, but I didn't presume. But you know, like when I went to step in it, I kind of gave you a look, like you coming.
If we're showing off, we're showing off. I'm coming.
All right, and then I throw the switch, and we
Yeah,
start to climb up.
Yeah, and I watch you do this, and from where I'm sitting on my little log, and I'm like, and I say my quip about you being so industrious, even though you can't hear it, because that's just so Fiddlesticks. Then, I'm gonna turn into a bird and fly up to the top and beat you there. How difficult is it to turn into a bird?
I think it is probably like just a slow bird, like a run would probably like difficulty 4.
Okay. So I will roll it at 1d6 and 3 fate dice, plus 4. There we go, 5.
All right.
Plenty.
So yeah, you're a run.
Yeah. Yeah, so he transforms into a little bird and flies up to the top of it, and I think he perches on top of the balloons for a moment and just like kind of takes in being on top of everything and like preens a little bit and then comes back down to the terrace level. And do I need to roll again to transform back?
I'm really trying to find out where I can compel Theo to make the balloons not be able to handle birds landing on them. But you don't have any aspects I can compel for that, so
That would be very foolish. That would be very foolish.
Yeah, what else?
I'll give the Swiss Savant is for building things. I will offer you a fate point if a bird landing on your balloons will pop them.
No.
Okay.
So I lose a fate point?
You have to lose one then.
Okay, yeah, no.
All right.
That's good.
Okay.
That's fine.
Curse you. All right. Yeah, so yeah, you can land. You don't have to roll again to land.
Okay. So then he's just like waiting at the top. And he's not waiting for your elevator, like looking for it or anything. He is like hand on one of the ropes, like looking out at the view and admiring being above like 90% of the trees.
I enjoy that even when you're a bird, you're still a cat.
Right? Exactly.
So is it like really waving back and forth in the wind a whole lot because it's anchored by balloons?
Yeah.
You
It
can
definitely
see
has a sway to it.
God, his butt wiggles back and forth just a little bit, like his tail is trying to compensate for that, but he doesn't have a tail, and even if he did, it would just be a stubby bobcat tail.
Have any of you seen uh, transformation of Zilsix before?
That was actually what I was about to ask next. So you,
No, I don't think we have. Unless Teo
I
has.
believe Teo has. When we were going after you, when Teo was in the mech, and I was
Mhm.
like scouting.
Oh yeah. I don't know that I ever saw the actual transformation process, but I'm definitely aware of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So you're all aware that Zilsix can transform to
yeah.
various things. All right, cool.
Is by far not even the weirdest thing.
Fiddlesticks
we-
is not very good at keeping a secret, especially not one that makes him look cool.
yeah.
So far, he has not gotten any negative consequences or blowback for this, and it will certainly bite him in the butt eventually. But he doesn't care. He's like, "Look at me! I can be a bobcat," and everyone's like, "Whoa!" He's like, "It's cool, right?" And they're like, "I don't understand this slang. What are you doing, Fiddlesticks?" And he's like, "Don't worry about it." So that's what all the cool kids are saying.
That's all what the Bobcats are saying. The Bobcats are very cool. We just don't know it. But yeah, all the way up here in this really cool, this really cool sky cottage. You can see the ground for miles around. Like you get a really good view of this part of Oregon, Washington.
Yeah, so you when the elevator finally gets to the top and lets you out, uh, um, Fiddlesticks doesn't even turn around, and he's like, "This is one of the most impressive things I have ever seen, Teo."
It's only the beginning.
And with that, he will turn around, like one eyebrow raised with interest. What do you mean?
There is not enough land here in Oregon for all the families who want to come here.
That is a bit of a problem, isn't it?
But there is lots of sky.
He kind of blinks a little bit.
Kiddo thinks the solution to the problem is going up.
He goes back to looking out over everything.
Can't say I disagree. Shrug.
I
I'm
wouldn't
a
mind
very
living somewhere
supportive
like
uncle.
this.
Supportive uncle, I like it.
It's a certain amount of power being up this high. I like it.
So this is what I've been working on. I just kind of gesture.
Impressive. Impressive. Well, obviously you need to get some more of these up here in order to help sustain more people, more... what do you call these sky cottages?
I don't know yet. I am not very good with names. I'm better with the building.
No, well... Jordan, what do you think? You seem like a much more economically minded man, woman. I'm so sorry, I get these human things confused.
Shrug. I don't know. Nothing wrong with Sky Cottage. It's pretty direct.
It certainly tells people what we mean, doesn't it? Yes.
No confusion.
Cottage for now. But
For now, sure.
Sky City later.
Oh,
Yeah.
an entire city, well. Huh. The only problem I can see with that is it's going to... shadow.
That would be a problem. I'll have to consider that.
Yes, well,
Hmm.
I suppose.
Perhaps a type of glass. Now you see the gears turning in my head. Not literally, but
The ticking intensifies.
yes.
Fiddlesticks, just kind of smiles over his shoulder at Deo and says, I knew you were good for something. I'll leave the details to you.
If anyone's good with them, certainly him.
Indeed.
All right. Shall I move forward
Yeah, seems like a good place to do so.
to the next day, perhaps?
Sure.
All right.
So-
After all the food in the cottage in the storehouse has been eaten, you're awakened by a cry in the morning of the Chinook going out to their food house on the outskirts of town and finding like all their provisions for the winter are gone. It looks like there was a burrow underneath, like some small animal burrowed underneath the walls and into the little hut, and then just used the little hole to get out again after eating literally everything. And like everyone is confounded by this because it was as much food as was in a house, and it went through this tiny hole that maybe would fit like a dog.
Mhm. There are a few things I want to do, and I'm not sure which order I want to do them in. First thing is I want to talk about the dream that I had, because maybe the Chinook would know more about that. Two, I want to use my ethereal hymnal code magic to find out if there's any food left, or like, where is it?
Where is it?
Okay.
Because it seems like a little fast that one creature or even like a few of them could have eaten the entire supply all at once.
So who do you tell
I have a
about your
very
dream?
important question.
Yeah.
Did Fiddlesticks get his welcome back party that he predicted?
Fiddlesticks needs to make a roll, I think. Let's see.
Please, this is
Where's
very,
your-
very important.
You need to roll network.
Do I even have I do have network. Okay.
And this is about the whole town, so it would be difficulty 6.
Okay. Boy, I am not great at this. Let's do it.
You did not. Like, a few people welcomed you back. I think somebody just gave you a fish, and that was about it.
I think he parades around with the fish as if it was a feast. And then after he eats it, he goes and like kind of sulks a little bit, but where no one can see him.
In the night.
That's probably why
All right.
he was nowhere nearby when whatever that happened.
Yep.
Oh, nobody know where you were when the food disappeared?
Yep.
Who do you tell about your dream?
Nobody knew where I was.
I'm going to give that to you as an aspect.
Oh, good.
All right.
Too true. So who am I talking to when I start talking to people about the nightmare that I had?
Well, you said you lived by yourself.
Am I still in the village, or where am I
Well, you
right
said
now?
you had like a small house at the edge of town, right? Like you had your own place. You can be private.
It had like a tent. Yeah.
Yeah, you have a tent.
Mhm.
So probably the first people you come across are the Chinook that are swarming over the food hut, trying to figure out what happened. Like you're there when they like talk about this tunnel, and like how could anybody get that much food out of the tunnel?
Mhm.
So you're there when they're discovering this, or at least like you were awoken by the first shouts, because there are obviously guards outside this tunnel, outside this little hut.
Mhm.
I mean, weren't expecting everything to go missing.
A commotion sounds like a good word for this situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I I come up to them and I ask what happened, and then I find out, and then I say, "Huh, I had a nightmare just a few nights ago that was just like this. There was a coyote that came into this very storehouse, or at least it looked like it to me, and took all of the food for itself."
Okay, so do you describe? So one of the
Mhm.
Chinook, I'm going to name him Stomps Like Fire. Stomps Like
Mhm.
Fire asks, "This coyote, can you describe it?" And I am going to offer Fiddlesticks a fate point for your unusually blue eyes if the coyote in the dream had blue eyes just like yours.
Hmm. I don't have a lot of fate points to.
I mean, don't we know the answer, what you would do even if you had a lot of fate points?
I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Gimme.
It's interesting.
Gimme.
Here's the fate point.
Thank you.
All right. So yeah, you described this, and the Chinook is like, Stomps Like Fire says, those eyes. Oh, I feel like I've seen them somewhere before. You described this striking feature. And they start looking around. Is Fiddlesticks anywhere nearby?
He was sulking, and I don't know if he'd be nearby, but probably like around the end of breakfast time, he would like saunter back, expecting like the group meal to have been made, and maybe notices the commotion and the fact that breakfast hasn't even been started yet.
All right. So I feel like you go back to the longhouse, not to the food hut, because
Yeah.
no one would make food at the food hut.
Right, exactly.
But yeah.
Oh, am I too late for breakfast? I thought I'd be just on time.
Well. So. I think there's this old woman who is stirring this pot, and she says, "All the food's been taken
What
except for the sourdough. All we have now is the sourdough."
Well, man can't live on bread alone. And what do you mean the entire store's gone? I helped put venison in there myself, not, well, 2 weeks ago when I left.
Oh, I don't know what happened, but you can talk to those people. They seem to know more. But this is in the future, I feel like.
Okay. Well, I'll let you zoom back in time to that conversation.
Yeah. We'll zoom back in time to where Jemima also feels like they have seen these eyes before. But you also want to use your hymnal code for something, right?
Yeah, I wanted to figure out who if there's anything left, and kind of like what took it, and where I could find them, because
All right, it's like a general.
yeah.
So you could answer those questions if you want, because this is fate, or you can just ask me what the answer is.
Cool. I feel like, can I do a mix of both?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I feel like there's probably some food left, although I would say like probably the amount on that is like half.
Is this in the storehouse, or just in their village as a whole?
I think everything got taken out of the storehouse by like some beast, and then, but I don't think the beast was like able to eat that much food all at once. Like I feel like there's some left over.
You think it moves it somewhere else, or do you think it just
Yeah,
lets
that's
some
what I'm
of it?
thinking. Yeah.
So the storehouse is empty, but there is food somewhere else if we find it.
Yeah. But if we
Okay.
leave it alone with the beast, it's going to eat all of it over time because it's winter and
Yes.
exactly.
Like it's hidden it somewhere. All right, perfect.
And then
Anything
some other
else
things
you
we
want
find
to
in here.
describe?
Yeah. And then I want to find out where that would be and what has it by
Okay.
opening up my hymnals and connecting the dots.
So those make what you said true. I think that's probably difficulty 6.
Okay, cool.
And if you roll higher than that, I'll give you more information.
Okay. And I'm using my hymnal code skill for this.
Yes.
Cool.
This is a 1d6, I think. Oh, wait. That's not your magic skill?
I
thought it was also your magic skill.
cook might be my magic skill. Well,
Because, oh, that's right. You got 2 of them now. Because you paid to upgrade one, I think.
Yeah.
yeah.
The
They-
reason it's
so-
blue is because it can do all the things. The action.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So
The
hymnal
hymnal
code
one is definitely
yeah.
magic because how's it not magic?
Yeah, it's got to be magic.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're using a hymnal code skill.
Okay.
So you could add a 1d6 for free.
Since we're getting close to the end of this game, I'm going to crank it up to 2d6.
I was gonna say do both.
You can't though because you didn't power it up.
Oh. So
Oh wait, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. All right, you can power it up. My bad.
Okay.
You just have to pay for it.
Yeah, you have to pay for it.
Okay. Cool.
So
I
one
want
fate point to get 2d6.
Cool.
That will also advance the doom counter.
Good. All right. Let's type this in properly. 2df plus 2d6 plus
I'm
3.
gonna have to come back and clip that.
Yeah.
That will also advance the doom counter. Good. I like that. That needs to quote save forever.
And look, we have an 8.
Yes.
The best number.
All right. You know that whatever it is, it changed your dream to give it fiddlestick's eyes in your dream.
Ooh.
Cool.
So you also know it is a shapeshifter.
Which could be fiddlesticks, but could be a different shapeshifter.
Yeah. If you feel like if you investigated this dream further, you know how fiddlesticks always has the same eyes. You might see a distinctive feature about this coyote.
Mm-hmm. I'm really struck by this idea that all shapeshifters have a curse where every shapeshifter also has a doppelganger. Because
Go
That-
on.
that could
That's terrible. I love it.
yeah. Because shapeshifting is like argued by most people to be the most powerful superpower in all of fiction. So having a powerful and really fun drawback like that could be super fun.
Interesting. All right.
Like as soon as Fiddlesticks got the power to shapeshift, somewhere else the doppelganger shows up. It's just the price of being able to shapeshift.
Nice. I'm into it. That is good lore. All right.
Cool.
I will tell you what this coyote's tell is if you spend another fate point in an aspect. Like, get this up to 10. And tell me what it is. Which, like, how does this aspect help you introspect on this dream?
Okay, cool. I think it doesn't have much of a telltale, or at least it's not very obvious to most people. But because Jemima has very poor sight and things go really blurry for her, she's able to like read like some aura off of it, and that's the telltale. And anyone who can do etheric aura reading can tell that that's the doppelganger.
I was going to think it was something more like in your dream, this was the only part that was still in focus.
Ooh, I like that almost better.
That's also what I was thinking.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like it better.
All right. So you spend your fate point.
Cool.
I'm going to take it away. Well, you didn't do it?
Yep, I did it.
All right. So it's kind of like that. Its tell is obvious to you because you weren't looking for it. Your other senses are amplified. The tell is the coyote's laugh as it barks happily in the food hut while it's consuming it, and then in the woods as it's digging its hole to hide the food.
Yep. Where is Jemima right now then? Is she still with Stumps Like Fire, or?
I think it takes you time to think about this, and everybody has like spread out. So
That's fair.
now we're all in the present time stream again.
Cool.
The time anomaly has corrected itself, and you are basically alone with the food hut. You see there are people in town, and they're trying to make breakfast, but they don't have much because the food that you know remains isn't in their collection. You see that like some of them are going out into the river right now to try and catch some. I'm going to pronounce it wrong again. Some salmon for breakfast, but it's going to take them some time to do that.
Yep. I want to, like, I know what's happening now, so I'm going to like probably I'm presuming this Chinook village is kind of close to Oregon City. That's what I was sort of imagining, but
It's some time away, actually. I think it's
I thought it was at least a day's travel.
Ugh.
It would be. Oh, it would be its own tick on the map, so it's a week away.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
what I thought too. Because it's where we stopped and we were like a week behind Whitaker family.
Gotcha. Then the sensible choice seems like I kind of want to take people with me because going by myself sounds like a bad idea. How often does Fiddlesticks come by usually?
Well, you can see Fiddlesticks right now. Fiddlesticks is outside the longhouse.
Pouting.
Um,
Gotcha.
yeah, pouting.
I think when Fiddlesticks finds out about the lack of food, he's gonna try to get a party together to go find another one of these giant birds, which is what he calls the Stegosaurus.
Mhm.
We're gonna be real surprised when it's not actually a bird at all.
I mean, it's got feathers. It's like a bird. It's similar-ish.
Nice.
Similar-ish.
And Theo is like preoccupied, like filling balloons and getting their sky cabin in the sky again so they can work on it. How much time do we have left?
An hour and a half. This is a good time to take a break, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to take a break.
I was just like, I can't rip up all these threads in 10 minutes, guys. What am I going to do?
No,
Yeah,
we have that.
I could use a
All right.
headset break, but here is progress at the break.
Ooh.
Oh.
I like her a lot.
All those stars.
Yeah, and I was like, how should I paint her? My friend was like, do a galaxy pattern, and I was like, I hate you.
But it's
Challenge accepted.
Nice.
Okay.
So there's that, and so basing will be the second half of the session. And then she will hopefully be 100% done, and I can be like, here's a finished model.
My gosh.
Nice. All right. Let's go to
All right.
break.
Let's go to break, everybody.